What is up, you guys? Josh here, also known as Harry Tornado. Today is Monday, and we have 12 items going out that we sold this past weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So let's go ahead and get all those pulled, packed, and shipped out. First, I sold my last two Disney 2,000-piece villains puzzles. I've sold 2 or 3 of these so far, and 2 or 3 weeks ago when the puzzle market was super hot, I was selling these for $49.99 plus shipping. These cost $12.97 at Walmart. But since then, I think the market has become a little bit more saturated and not as many people are buying puzzles. So I did drop the price on these to $29.99 plus shipping, and both of these sold this past weekend. So turning basically 13 bucks into 30 plus shipping. Not too bad. Just happy I wasn't stuck with more puzzles. So if you guys remember that Xbox One pickup I did on Facebook Marketplace 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was the Xbox with the Kinect and 3 controllers for $110. And I was going to keep the Xbox One, which I am. I'm still keeping it, but I was selling off the accessories to cancel out some of the cost of the actual system. I sold 1 controller and the Kinect so far, and these were the other 2 controllers that came with the bundle. This is the black one that originally came with the Xbox when the first guy bought it. It does work, but it's missing this little back side piece, so I didn't want to keep it for my primary controller. And then this blue one works and looks cool, but it's missing the little grip thing on this joystick. So I decided to sell both of these controllers on eBay, and I was going to buy just a better one for me to keep personally. I listed both of these controllers on eBay Saturday afternoon, and they both sold within a couple of hours. The blue one sold for $34 free shipping, and this black one sold for $25 free shipping. The reason I didn't get more money for these was because this black one has a little bit of stick drift. That just means that when you're playing, sometimes the reticle on your gun kind of drifts off to the right a little bit. So I did disclose that in the listing. It probably needs a new joystick or something, and it was missing this back piece. If this was in full working order and good cosmetic condition, you could probably get like $45 to $50 for these. And then this blue one, again, was missing the little thing on the joystick. And I also wanted to sell them pretty quickly. So again, $34 free shipping on that. And then I used that money and I was going to buy a better controller for me personally, because now I don't have a controller for Xbox. So I went on eBay and I found this one, just a cool looking one. It's got white with a little mint green back. This on eBay was like $69, I think, which was very expensive for an Xbox controller. And I was super close to buying it. And I just happened to go on Facebook Marketplace Saturday evening to just look and see if there's anything to flip. And I found one of these, this exact controller that I was looking at on eBay. A guy was selling it for 25 bucks. So I bought that super fast, paid him through PayPal, went and did a porch pickup. So I basically took the $50 or so in profit from the other 2 controllers and spent half of that on the new controller. So I'm ahead by about 25 bucks or so. So the full breakdown, I guess, would be I spent $110 on the whole system. And then after I sold off the 3 controllers and the Kinect and bought the other controller, I'm all in on a fully functional Xbox One system with 1 controller for about $22 or so, somewhere around that price range. So that's what I love about reselling. Not only can you flip items for a profit, but you can also just use your magic and trickery to get things that you need personally for super, super cheap. Next item going out is this pair of women's heels. I think these are Steve Madden. Yeah, Steve Madden. I know nothing about women's shoes. I only bought these because I thought they were cool looking with little studs. And honestly, I thought they were going to sell for a lot more money than this, but these have been listed for probably 9 or 10 months. And I did accept a best offer on these of $20 plus shipping. I think these were $6.50 at Goodwill. So not a great flip, but again, I don't really know anything about women's shoes, so just the fact that I'm making a profit at all is good in my book. Next up is this pair of women's Dansko clogs. I do know about women's like work shoes and Danskos and stuff. I just don't know about women's dress shoes. These are in pretty good condition. A little bit of heel wear there, but Dansko clogs are pretty good. I paid $6.50 for these. They've probably been listed for about 4 or 5 months, and these sold for $24 plus shipping. Then extremely similar to the Danskos is this pair of Mary Jane style Apex shoes. Apex is like a style of, I think, like diabetes walking shoes. You can see these still have the sticker on the bottom. Excellent condition, basically brand new. Paid $6.50 for these, and these sold for $30 plus shipping. Next up is another pair of women's shoes. These are a pair of North Face women's hiking shoes in excellent condition, like basically brand new. The only problem with these shoes is the size. These are a women's size 4, which is super, super small. I paid $6.50 for these at Goodwill, and I thought even with the small size, because they're such a good brand, you know, the North Face, I should be able to make a good amount of money on these, but these sat probably 9 or 10 months listed because a size 4 in women's shoes is just very, very small. So these eventually did sell this weekend for $16.60 plus shipping. So I did make a profit, but I know now not to pick up these super, super small women's shoe sizes. Next up is another pair of women's athletic shoes. It's a very, very boring pair of New Balance 1442 shoes, but in excellent condition. I think that's a non-slip sole, kind of the similar shape as like a Shape Up. So I don't know why I bought these. These are super ugly. I paid $6.50 for these, and these sold for $20 plus shipping. Next up is this baseball bat that I showed you guys yesterday, the DeMarini Voodoo Overlord Drop 3. I've already told you about it. Paid $3.92 for it at Goodwill, and it sold for $100 plus shipping. Definitely a great sale on a bat. Next up is a used puzzle. This is actually a multi-pack of used puzzles. It says 12 kids puzzles, but there's actually only 11 in there. One of them was missing, so I did disclose that in the listing. I think I paid $1.92 for this at Goodwill, and it sold for $10 plus shipping. Used puzzles, as I've said before, I think in yesterday's video, they just don't really sell that well for me. I mean, they sell often, I guess, but just not for nearly as much money as they would if they were in brand new sealed condition. Next up is this Brookstone Perfect Drink app-controlled smart bartending. It looks like a little scale and a screen. You put a couple in there and it tells you, you follow the ingredients on how to make cocktails. I don't know. I found this at Salvation Army. I paid $3.99 for that, and at the time I think sold comps were like 35 bucks. But they have dropped a little bit. This sold this weekend for $25 plus shipping. All right, so we got everything packed up and ready to go. Everything was pretty self-explanatory when it comes to packing. This was the baseball bat. This is the medium priority mailing tube that I use. I use these for baseball bats and most of my golf clubs. Everything else was just regular boxes. A couple of you guys have asked me about puzzles, and I just shipped these in these priority boxes. This is the 1092 box. I also use the 1095 and the 1097 box. All of them ship at a regular, like just the regular priority rate, like the weight and distance. There's no flat rate boxes that I use for puzzles. I just use any priority box that fits them, and generally that's the 1092, 1097, or 1095. I did sell one more item this weekend. It sold to a viewer named Brandy, and it was this women's Nike dry fit hat. I haven't had this listed for very long, maybe a week or so. And after Brandy bought it, she sent me a message on Saturday morning and asked if I could ship it out that day. So I did ship out that item on Saturday, but I didn't ship out anything else. So Brandy, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. So now I'm going to share with you guys everything that I've sold over the last 4 or 5 days or so, however long it's been since the last time I did a what's sold. I don't think there's anything super, crazy awesome. It's just pretty much bread and butter items, but hopefully this will give you an idea of what's selling for me right now on eBay. I sold this pair of men's FootJoy leather golf shoes. I've had these listed for quite a while, probably 7 or 8 months. Paid $6.50 for these, and these sold for $18 plus shipping. Next up is a lot of 2 items that sold to a viewer named Cedric. Cedric bought this girl's Umbro beanie. I've had this listed for over a year. I never thought this thing would sell. And Cedric also bought a 2-pack of these fishing lures. He just wanted to support me and support the channel. So Cedric, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. I picked up this pair of women's Justin Gypsy boots at Goodwill probably 6 months ago. I think I paid $8.50 for these, and these sold for $55 plus shipping. The buyer was all in almost $80 on these. So it was a pretty good sale on a pair of boots. I sold this super ugly Ralph Lauren long sleeve men's shirt. I've had this listed for 9 or 10 months, and I accepted a best offer of $12 plus shipping. So I picked up this 12-pack of animal-themed jigsaw puzzles at Walmart on one of my last retail arbitrage runs. I think this was $16 at Walmart, and I thought because it has 12 individual puzzles inside that it would sell for, maybe $40 or $50. But these multi-packs of puzzles have not been selling well for me. This one, again, paid $16 for it. I think it was like $15.97 or plus tax. And this sold for $25 plus shipping. So that was a best offer. Somebody sent that to me. I just accepted it because I just haven't had much luck selling these multi-packs of puzzles. I've had better luck with the Disney and Star Wars puzzles. Found these Nike baseball cleats at Marshall's, I believe. I picked them up probably 4 months ago, just a random retail arbitrage pickup. I do not normally do retail arbitrage at TJ Maxx or Marshall's just because I don't really like the profit margins. Unless you find stuff on like yellow tag clearance, I'm just not interested in shopping around there so often enough to where you could find any decent deals. So I just bought these on a whim. I think these were $14.99 plus tax, and these sold for $38 plus shipping. So the other day when I was telling you guys about that one single white van shoe that kept getting canceled, nobody ever bought it because they weren't reading the title or description correctly, I had a viewer reach out to me and he says, he bought it. He bought the shoe, and he says, "I'll promise you'll never have to relist this again. I understand this is just for one shoe. Autograph it. I'll consider it a rookie card. Or Sharpie it, maybe paint it. It'll make for some cool content for a minute on the channel. Heck, prop the tongue open and shoot the ping pong ball into it. Have a great Wednesday. List a couple items in the death pile. You've got this." Brian with 2 feet in the Black Hills, South Dakota. So Brian with 2 feet, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. I sent that out to you. I should have put me actually decorating it on the channel, but I didn't I didn't film that. But I just took a Sharpie and kind of went to town. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks again for the support. I picked up this vintage Beatles graphic t-shirt at Goodwill probably 10 months ago. I thought this thing was going to sell super quickly, but it did not. I paid $1.50 for this. Somebody sent me an offer of $15 free shipping, and I just went ahead and accepted it because it's been listed for so long. It was a pretty cool shirt, but I just couldn't get any bites on it. Next up is another viewer sale. It is this Sony memory stick / PC card adapter. I have no idea what it does. I bought this in that store buyout, the eBay store buyout that I did. It was just part of that. I listed as is, and it sold for $5 plus shipping to a viewer named Josh. And Josh says, "Hey Josh, I wanted to say that I watch all of your videos and keep doing what you're doing. Could you do me a favor and give a huge shout out to my friends Austin and Morgan?" Josh C. So Austin and Morgan, here's a huge shout out to you guys. Thanks for the support. And then finally is this pair of women's Asics running shoes. I've only had these listed for 2 or 3 weeks. They were a pretty quick seller for me personally. I think it was because it was a pretty interesting colorway. It was like a mostly black shoe, but it had really bright hits of like a neon colorway, like pink and green and stuff. And these sold for $24 plus shipping. I paid $6.50 for these at Goodwill, and they've been sitting in my death pile for like 4 months. So we did attempt to do the camp out last night in this tent. We got an air mattress in there and a bunch of pillows and blankets. I brought my laptop. We were watching Parks and Rec, and it lasted until, I think we stayed out there until about 10:45 or so. We are going to hang out in the tent again tonight because it was kind of fun. We did not do like a fire or s'mores or anything last night, so tonight we're gonna do hot dogs and s'mores in the fire pit and probably watch more Parks and Rec in the tent. Honestly, I think it's a pretty fun way to feel like you're somewhere else when in reality you're just at your house, the same house you've been at for the last 60 days or however long it's been. So it was everything I sold this weekend, obviously, and as well as last, like, I think Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So obviously sales have not been tremendous for me, but it's been pretty steady. I still haven't had a single day that I haven't sold anything. I haven't had any goose eggs so far. So I don't want to jinx myself, but so far so good in terms of that. Now, I don't have, a super secret game plan or any words of wisdom to give you guys. I just think we need to assess our own situations and our own businesses and our own locations throughout the country, and depending on how heavily those locations are affected by this virus that's going around, we just need to make good decisions for our businesses and our families. For me, I'm just going to keep listing items, as much as I can without being bored out of my mind. I am going to explore the options of sourcing again in the next couple weeks. Thrift stores have opened back up here in South Carolina. So again, that's something that you need to figure out for your business. You need to evaluate the situation of you and your family and your state, how everything is working together, and make that choice for you, whether it's safe and the right decision for you to make in your business. I'm certainly not going to say that any of our businesses are more important than the health and safety of our friends, family, and general public. But I'm also not going to say that we should just sit around and not do any business at all until every single case of this virus has gone away, because that's not going to happen. So again, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to feel things out for the next couple weeks and try to make the best decisions I can using my own personal judgment and common sense. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your time tremendously. Be sure to like this video if you like it. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to this channel for more content just like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. You're the best, and I'll catch you on the next one.